Good evening, everybody. How are we? Happy Monday. And of course, it wouldn't be Monday if it didn't go dark on my camera. All of a sudden, I really need to get some lights for next week. Anyway, I hope you're all well. I can't believe it's been a week, but because I had a little break with Jean at the end of last week and the weekend, actually feels like more than a week since I've been live, but it is only just 1 week. Every Monday here at 6 p.m. If you haven't been here before, do subscribe, hit the like button, let me know you like the video, and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified of my future videos. Hi Karen, and hi to everyone else joining. I can see your comments, so and Horsy's here with me. So I've got a demo planned and a couple of bits of info and news for you just before I start that. So thank you again for letting me know that you want the sentiments and a few other bits. Some of you want the whole bundle of the release from a couple of weeks ago. So they are on the way. As I said last week, I did order them and they are due in this week. It should be in the next couple of days, but definitely this week. So the best thing to do is, if you're after any of those things from the first release, any of the stamp sets or the stencil, then hit on the Claire Manning Creative website, clairemanningcreative.co.uk, hit the notify me button on the product that you want, and as soon as I check the stock then and put it on the website, it automatically emails you. Hi Jane, hi Hazel, and anyone else that's joining. So don't worry if you've missed the first minute or so. I've just been going over that the restock is due in later this week. So as well as that, I'm doing a demonstration today, a little bit of a follow on from last week. So we did the stencils, didn't we, with all different techniques, and one of them that you all absolutely loved was the foiling, and I did that through a stencil. So today I'm going to try that same technique, the foiling, with the Wow bonding powder. And I'm going to try it with a stamp and through my laminator and see how that comes out, and cut into a stamp and do a few other little bits and pieces with that. So to go along with that, anything on the website tonight, in fact I'll keep it on for a few days as well. Oh, hi from Salt Lake City. Hi, is it Elizabeth or Liz? Hi Diane, Denise, Margaret. So go along with that. Anything that you buy on the website tonight that is Wow or heat embossing related, so that includes Wow powders, the ink pad, things like the anti-static bag, anything like that in the heat embossing section. So if you go to Shopcraft and then go heat embossing filter, anything on that section, there's 10% off that I'll keep on for a few days for you. So just a little treat. And thank you for coming to watch me do my demo. So shall we get on with it? Hi Tanya. So I'm just going to swap to my other camera, my overhead, and let's get going. So I'm going to use a combo of the two main stamps from the release. I'm going to use the Full Bloom and the Hello World. So for the main part, let's do the foiling first, and that's going to be using the Full Bloom, and I'm going to use this flower with 2 leaves here. So if you didn't see this technique last time, basically we use a sticky powder, which I'll explain a little bit more, to sticky ink and then sticky powder to stamp with, and then we put some foil on top, this fabulous Wow foil that I've discovered, and then it goes through a laminator. And or if you've got even you can print from a laser printer. Not that I've got one of those. They tend to be like more in offices and things, don't they? The laser printers. But you can do it that way as well. But I found if you've got a cheap laminator at home, like I just had in my office, then that works amazingly. And then you basically get a foiled stamp image without any expensive foiling machine. Like a cheap laminator, I think I paid about £15 for mine, and it was just lying around anyway. I didn't buy it specifically for craft, but I know the foil machines like Gemini or Go Press and Foil and things like that, they can be £100+, are they? And then you have to buy all the different metal kind of stamps or dies for them, whereas doing it this way, you can get that foiled look much cheaper. So I've just put the whole stamp in my stamping tool, but like I say, I'm only really going to stamp this area here a couple of times so I can cut them out. Hi, anyone else that's joining? There's quite a few of you joining now. So I'm just putting my anti-static on. So the powder we use for stamping and inking will only stick where I want it. And I'm going to be quite specific here with the embossing ink pad. I'm not going to bother putting it on all these areas that I don't want it. I'm just going to make sure I'm covered the whole flower and those leaf bits. So I can probably get 2 in this bit of paper. I'll do them one at a time so I don't get in a mess. So let me know, what have you been up to this last week? Lots of you have posted your lovely crafty makes, whether it's using my designs or other people's, which of course you're all welcome to do on the group on Facebook. And what plans have you got this week? Lots of crafty plans for me now. I've had a little restful break. So that's with the clear sticky ink. Oh, Hazel, you've got a laser printer. I bet that is that quite expensive. I don't know whether they're quite reasonable now or what. So this is the powder. It's called bonding powder and it looks like a clear or a white embossing powder. But I have tried this technique with clear or white. It's just not as crisp. Basically, this powder stays, just about make it out there. It stays stickier. So that means it can really stick to that foil. Oh, and you've got a first foiling machine. Yeah, I had a Go Press and Foil when they first came out, and I must admit, once I realised that I had to buy all the designs I wanted to foil, I had to buy like the stamps or the dies for them, the metal plates. I kind of stopped using it because it was just something else that I had to buy, that they weren't particularly cheap. And I've been looking for ages, hi Irene, for a way to do it with, I used to think I've got all these lovely stamps, existing dies, existing stencils, and I want to be able to foil those. I don't want to have to re-buy everything. So give them that a good melt, and then I don't know which to use. I think I'm going to use I've got 2 new colours as well on the website tonight. Rose gold, let's try that. So I think there's 5 colours on there now. I'm slowly building up for in the online shop, because there's so many different colours of foils and powders, isn't there, that I do. They're amazing. But obviously to buy them all in straight away is a bit much, but I'm building up my favourites for you all. So if I lay that over the flower, I am just going to burnish it a little bit with this is my Cricut tool, but you could do this like with a credit card, just to make sure it's in the right place and it does not move. And then just to protect it through the laminator, I did this when I did the stencil as well. So the stencil, if you want to foil a stencil, it's exactly the same technique you'll see on my previous video, so do check that out if you missed it. But basically you put the sticky ink through the stencil, then the powder, and then just to protect it so the foil doesn't get ruined in the laminator or stick, I've just put it between a piece of folded just copy of paper, and I'm going to run that through my laminator now. Hi everybody joining. Oh, Oh wow, Hazel, you got one from Argos for like £50. I always thought laser printers were like hundreds or thousands. I always think of them as the big things you have in an office, you know. So I have got it on the cold setting. Sorry, the hot setting, and it's going to almost like remelt that powder for us. Brilliant, Margaret. Let me know how you get on. Fabulous. So this is the first time I've tried it with a stamp. I like to try the things first time with you. Because if things don't go exactly according to plan, then we can work things out together, can't we? I don't want you to think that when we, as demonstrators, do these videos, everything goes perfect all the time. Because then that could put you off at home. Have you tried Deco for transfer gel? Wow. Oh no, that sounds good. So let's have a look. So it will do slightly outside of the flower design as well, because naturally that ink pad will have caught some of it. That looks really cool. It's a great colour as well, isn't it? So I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to colour in this flower and those two leaves and cut them out in a bit. So I may as well do another one in that other space. So same thing. Just make sure it doesn't overlap. Hi Joe. There we go. So same again, anti-static. And I know it looks like a pretty pointless step this, because you don't really see it doing anything, but what you can find otherwise is that your powder sticks all in between your design, and then of course your foil will stick all in between your design as well. So if you want it to have a nice clean look, I mean, some people, they don't mind that, and it's just part of the design, but if you want it to look nice and crisp, use your anti-static as well. So anyone that's just joining, to give you a little treat, anything in the heat embossing section on the website for the next few days is 10% off. And don't forget, if you spend over 30, you've got UK delivery free as well. But if you are in Salt Lake City, like the lady earlier, hi Kathy, or anywhere else in the world, we do ship to you as well. There's just different options when you go to the website. Gemini machine. Oh, Elizabeth. Yeah, try this out. I'd say, you know, I'm not here to say that those machines are not great. I loved the Go Press and Foil one when I first bought it. Like I say, I just had all this stuff I wanted to use already, these stamps I wanted to use, and find... It's okay, horse. Do you want to come and say hello? Just whining to get out. Pop your head under there and say hi. I'm sure everybody would love to see you. Come on. Come and say hi. Oh, can you hear the tap? Happy Stamp Set back in stock. Yes, Sue. I did say first thing, but you probably weren't around. The stock is due in the next couple of days, definitely before the end of the week. To be honest, it should be tomorrow, but the manufacturer has still got some shortages for people isolating who've been pinged. So they've promised me it will be before the end of the week. So definitely the most important thing for you to do is press the notify me. I'm sure you've done it already, because I know you were one of the first ones to miss out on it. But anybody who wants any of the stamps, press notify me and you will get email. Because the last thing I would want is that those of you who've been waiting ages, and then I hope I've bought enough. But imagine, like, by the time you see it on the website, it's gone again or something. So you will get notified at the exact same moment as everybody else. So click that button then. So next bit of foil. Yes, very soon, Joe. I'll say by the end of the week, but I'm really hoping it definitely won't be tomorrow because they've told me it's not quite ready yet. But you never know. What's tomorrow? Tuesday. It could be Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, I think. So back in, done exactly the same, melted the powder and the foil again. I'm just tucking in any bits of loose foil there, and I don't throw any away at all because you could use that for something else. But I just like to tuck it in this bit of copier paper because I don't want any of that to get caught up and melt and ruin my machine. Hi Vicky, how are you? Hi Anne, and anyone else that I've missed? So back through the laminator again. Just going to put the, excuse my arms going over the camera. I'm looking for percentage. Why can't I find the percentage? Oh, there we go. So it's 10% off for all heat embossing supplies on the website for the next few days. I'm just typing that in on the comments in case anyone else joins late. There we go. Right, so we should have our 2 flowers now. And the leaves, hopefully I've caught in the leaves that I wanted. I just love anything with a reveal, do you? So, I'm going to add a little bit of watercolour to these images. Turn off my laminator. Not much, just, and I kind of want it to stay quite neutral. I've done that rose gold, but you'll see in a moment the card and everything that I'm using to back all this on is like greys and neutral, so I kind of want to keep to that palette. I'm just testing a bit here on the side. Some of these kind of ochre-y, browny, grey kind of colours. Not a dark brown. And this isn't particularly watercolour card, so I'm not doing a particular technique or anything here. I'm just going to give it a wash. Oh, stop moaning. Using my bit of card here almost like a palette so I can just test it because this bit's going to get cut off anyway. Now this one on the right, this is probably a bit of a tip when you're doing it, this foiling technique. This one on the right, it hasn't quite stuck as cleanly. I don't know whether you can see that. It's okay. I wonder if, I don't think I melted the powder for as long maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I didn't burnish it as much first, but it's definitely something that you have to kind of play around with. But I think it's worth it. And it's a much, much cheaper way of doing foiling. Let's do these leaves slightly darker. Like I say, I'm not doing any technique here with the watercolouring, just a wash of straight colour. You can always use some pens or something at the end if I want to add any more detail. We'll see how it looks. No problem, Tanya. Take care. Hope you enjoy it.
Try not to water laminator. I know, and I am conscious of like saying to everybody, oh, another machine or something, and it's really only I tested this because I had one already. But then when I looked at the prices of them, my gosh, they're so much cheaper than the foiling machines. So I'm just going to trim around these flowers now. And I just love having extra options with my stamp and die stash, do you? I like to be able to, you know, just use standard inks, embossing powders, foils, watercolours, other types of ink. So I'm just doing a bit of fussy cutting very, very quickly, so I'm sure you can do this much neater than me. But yeah, I like to get the most out of the stamps, dies and stencils that I have. Oh, I did enjoy Padstow, thank you, Anne. It was lovely. So me and my husband just had 3 nights down there, Thursday to Sunday, and it was really lovely. We managed to get some decent weather. Wasn't quite sit on the beach weather, but we had some good walks down by the coast. Lots of lovely food. And I need to do more walking now to get rid of all those extra calories, I think. But it was really lovely, really well needed break. I think we both said we hadn't really had a day off since Christmas. So because normally we would go away outside of a pandemic, we normally go away on a family holiday around July. So I think mentally you start pining for that break that you normally have, don't you? Somebody is singing next door. Oh no, just walking down the street. I don't know whether you can hear that because I've got a window open. Somebody having a great time. So there we go, there's one foiled flower. Could probably neaten that up a little bit. Do the same with this one. Let's get rid of all that excess. Ah, thank you, Joe. Oh gosh, Nola's saying the same. So that you want a laminator. Yeah, I mean, it is a different process, isn't it? It's not, I'd say, as quick because you've got to do your inking, then your powder, and then pop it through the laminator, but it's absolutely cheaper. And you can use all your existing designs. But I would say it's not, having used both now, it's not quite as crisp an image because obviously when you do it with a foil machine, they are metal plates and it's metal conducts the heat very, very well, so you get really, really crisp images. But if you don't kind of mind that, and I find that if I do a nice clean crisp background or clean looking card elsewhere, it can kind of handle a little bit of rusticness then in stamping or colouring or anything, foiling, anything like that, and actually gives a nice edge to it. Offer on 6-inch mink. Oh, is that one of the brands of the laminators or foiling machines? Because I know some of them, they call them foiling machines and they're really just rebranded laminators, aren't they? But I haven't tried those, so I don't really know. But this was just Zunio. I just bought it to laminate signs in my office, but okay, so we've got the 2. I think I will add a tiny bit of pen detail on there. So let me just grab my pens. A few of you were asking me about these as well, the Kuritakis. I have got the boxes back in stock, the full 24 set, but I'm still waiting for the smaller set, the individuals, so I can do the smaller sets for you, but they are on the way. Just seeing if we've got any other browns. Have you noticed all the browns and the beiges and everything are coming back in like home decor, and but it's not going to be like as yellowy browny and darky browny as it used to be in the 70s and 80s. I think it's going to be cleaner and fresher and all those kind of things. So I'm just doing a few flicks and then I'm going to go over. So that's with the dark brown. And then I'm just going to kind of smudge that with a damp brush, just to give a bit of shade. And I've noticed in shops as well, all the clothes, even my daughter said in where she shops, you know, like Primark, New Look, those kind of things, she said there's browns everywhere and beiges. That's just giving a little bit more depth, which is nice. Of course, there's no need to cry. My daughter's just gone out for netball and now he's crying. It's all right, she'll be back in a bit. Hi, Salma. Yes, you're right, Joe. They're quite autumnal as well, aren't they? Now we're going into that time of year. And I just find that sometimes we only use those colours at that time of year, and then it's a shame, really. So I've got a slightly orangier brown. This one's light, and I'm going to go in to the petals a little bit with that one, just around the edge, and then just blend out a little bit. Just thought this was using some of the techniques that I normally do, but with a completely different colour palette, because I'm normally very much your pinks and greens and things like that. And thank you for posting all your lovely makes with your new goodies as well on the Facebook group. It's been absolutely amazing to see all the different ideas that you all come up with, and lots of you recreating some of the cards from the design team. My job for later on in the week is to make that gallery on the website a little bit easier for you and sort it out into the different designs. So if you're looking for ideas with the Hello World stamp set, for example, that you can easily find those and not have to wade through everything else as we upload more and more things onto that website. So that's the two. Lovely rose gold and the browns. I know, can you hear him? It's just, don't have him fool you. So there's a couple of things I want to do for a background here. I've got a normal 5x7 white card. Come and say hello then properly, horse. He's right here. Hang on, let me switch cameras and you'll see him. Here he is, look. Say hello. Look. And then I've got some kind of creamy coloured card. Well, this one's called Milk. If you see it next to the white. Again, I really think this is an underused colour. And then slightly smaller than that I'm actually going to layer these onto is a grey. So to pop on the grey, just want to make the background a little bit more interesting. I want to do some little splatters. So let's take that darker brown from here. You could use whatever for your splatters, couldn't you? Whatever paint you've got tanned. Just flick from my brush a little bit. You're right now, horse. Sat down there watching out the window. And then I've mixed some of that brown with some white, make like a nice creamy colour. Oh my gosh, I've just realised I've just dipped my brush in my lemonade and not my water. That's good. Remind me not to drink that. Your dog's watching too, Jane. Hi, Wally. Oh, cute. Oh my gosh, Joyce, will you sit still? Are you up or down or what? You're driving me crazy. So, got some nice splatters on there, just on the left-hand side. And then as well, I want to add some embossing powder in a different way. So I thought, being as we've got our 10% off, let's use not just the foils, but let's use a powder as well. So I've got this one called Fool's Gold, which is, oh my God, look at this. I tested it the other week and then I thought, yeah, I've got to get some of that from the website. So it's almost like a mixture of their pale gold and like a pinky rose goldy glitter in there. And then I thought, let's do it with some tape. This is something I always forget to do. So you don't have to stamp with embossing powders. You can use it on sticky tape as well. So if you've got this, you can do it on any double-sided sticky tape, to be honest. But I find the red liner is, well, you know, it's super, super sticky, isn't it? No, there's no gin tonight, Nala. I've had too much gin over the weekend. So I'm going to do a couple of stripes of this. Try and get them straight. Oh, that was a bit stupid, wasn't it, putting that underneath? Yes, far too much gin. I can't believe I've wasted. That was the last bit of lemonade out of the bottle as well. Oh. So that's a wider stripe. And then I'm going to do two of these thinner. One quite close. Oh, horse, give it a rest now. You are a whiner. Trim that off. And then I'm going to do one more of these thinner, but I'm going to do it a little bit further out. So we've got tons of, really like to build interest and texture and layers, but without making your card really thick. And it's like tons of foam pads and pieces of card on top of each other and all that. I don't mind a couple of bits of matte and layering and adding embellishments on, but I'm always conscious of posting and things when things are really thick. It's expensive, it's, you know, you can never fit things in your envelopes, it gets annoying. So I'd much rather find ways to use all those lovely mediums and build interest and texture that way. So what are the kids for another bottle of lemonade? Yes. Well, Dean's just gone to do the Morrison's food shopping for the week because we've come home and of course the kids have eaten all the food. So he's gone to do the shopping while I'm doing this. He'll be back with me. He'll do the once a month ones with me, I think, when I need stock updates and things like that. So it won't be long. I'm doing, hopefully, the first Monday of September will be the next full release. And then we'll do most likely the first Monday of the month from then. So already that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Before even heat setting that. I love this mix. Kate can't, she's at netball, that's right. Too much going on. Joe, too much going on. And no such thing as too much gin. Well, I don't know. We had a lot of gin and a lot of Prosecco and a lot of food over the weekend, Margaret. So now I'm just heat setting. When you do it on the tape, just be careful not to hold it too close for too long. As long as you're holding, say I normally do a couple of inches, 2 to 3 inches away and heat setting anyway. But just because it's plasticky, your tape, isn't it? You don't want to melt it too much. Just enough to melt the powder, not your tape. Yeah, I've got tons of this tape, Joe, as well, and I very rarely use it because, you know, when you buy it ready for box making and things like that, and then I never end up making boxes. So let's have a play around now and see if we can pop this together and how I want that to layer out. I don't think I'm happy with the centre colour of those flowers. I feel like it's too orangey. I might add something else. I feel like it needs to be maybe more grey, brown. Let's get the grey out and see if we can tone that oranginess down a bit. I suppose I should have tested those colours before, so this is quite a shiny matte. Use my water, not my lemonade. No, you need red tape. You can, if you just got your normal, you know, like I normally use that one, sticking pieces of card together and layering up. It will absolutely work with that. I just find that red tape is so, like, perfectly strong and straight. Right, let's see if this can tone that down a little bit. So all is not lost. If you do something you think that colour is just not right, you can still layer on top of watercolour, more watercolour. Just make sure each layer is dry in between. Oh, sorry, have we got a question? Can we have a close-up of the embossing? This embossing on here? It's really pretty, that false gold, isn't it? Is that what you meant? Oh, this is still dry. Yes, yes. You've got too much sympathy for him, Joe. He doesn't cry all day until I want to do something where I'm speaking to other people and not him. Do anybody else's dogs do that? That still not totally happy with that, but I could play all day without building it up. I should have just tested my different shades before. Never mind. I think it's toned it down enough for it to work. It's a little bit better. Yes, it's a beautiful colour, isn't it, Hazel? And it goes so well with it's almost the same tone as the rose gold in the foil look, so it goes really well. So, cream on first, or the milk colour. I'm just going to use some tape, just for tape runner for quickness. I always seem to miss an area when using the sticky ink pad. Do you use your, it can be hard, can't it, Vicky, with the, because it's clear. Do you use the stamping tool and then you can go back in? My husband whines like that when he doesn't get enough attention. That's so funny. Don't they just, Joe, don't they just? So apologies, yes, I haven't been around much on socials over the weekend, but yeah. I think my husband was wanting a bit of attention as well. I think he was about to throw my phone in the sea if I didn't get off it for a couple of days. So that's the matte layer, but it's nice to, it's hard to pick up on the camera because it's 2 layers of quite light, but just a bit of a change of having, I'd normally have a dark one at that point and then lighter here, so just gives a different depth. So there's one more thing I want to do before layering those on. Obviously we've got a sentiment to do, and I thought let's use the Hello World, and I thought let's stamp a couple and emboss a couple of these leaves maybe behind as well. So if we see, I might chop this one leaf off here. I feel like there's too many, and I like things in odd amounts. Horse, stop it. You come and say hello properly this time. Come on. Come on then. Come on. Everybody say hello to you. Yeah? Look. You want to come up, don't you? And you think, how can I get up with all this stuff? It's been my little shadow all day today because we haven't been. Oh dear. Right. What colour shall I do these leaves? I'm not going to do any more embossing. I'm just going to ink them, I think. But you could emboss, obviously. Let's ink them. I need something like, shall we try that, or a greyish? Weathered wood would be nice. That's quite a greyish one. I didn't finish labelling all these, I need to do that. Where do we find the time, for all these extra jobs? Let's use those two, see where we go with those. I'm quite enjoying this. I know what I want to do when I'm doing these lives, as in I plan how I want the finished project to look. But I'm quite enjoying the not actually practicing it too much ahead of time. So I hope it kind of gives you a bit more insight of the actual process that I'm using then as I make cards. That should work, shouldn't it? Let's try the hickory smoke on one. Oh, that's nice. Just gives a nice little shadow. That's exactly what I was after. In fact, I'm going to go hickory smoke on both. I'm not going to risk ruining it by changing a colour. Missed anything important? Hi Roxy. So a couple of things. Yeah, if you're waiting on any stock, I can't remember what you had from the first release, but it should be in by the end of the week. And anything wow or heat embossing related for the next 3 days is 10% off on the website at the moment. Other than that, we're making a lovely card. We've done some foiling with some wow bonding powder and foils, some heat embossing stripes, and we're just kind of putting everything together. But you can re-watch as well, can't you, and catch up. And then before I take that out of the stamping tool, let's decide, I might as well do the sentiment and decide where that's going to go. Think about there. And Horse has been a whiner. That's the other thing that you've missed. Because I haven't been here for a few days, and then when I've come back, I've decided to talk to you guys instead of... Can you
email or let me know when you are next on, please. As in when I'm on YouTube here, or do you want me to just email you to answer a question, Anne? If so, I'll be around in the morning. I'm going to have my dinner after this, but I'll be around in the morning if you need me. Other than that, I'll be on here at 6 o'clock every Monday. So just a nice clean black. For the sentiment, and then let's just decide where to stick those flowers. I think I'll do one flat and then maybe put a couple of foam pads behind the other, but like I say, I don't want it to be too thick. Something like that, do you think? Let's do this one flat. Both please, Kay, I didn't get a notification. Oh, what, you mean the notifications for when I'm on YouTube? Does it not, if you subscribe to the channel, does it not just pop up and go, Claire has gone live? If you've done subscribe and then the bell, that should work. I haven't bothered with the foam pad on that. I've just gone straight in with the glue. You hit the bell as well, Roxy? Right, okay guys. Maybe it's because I didn't do a kind of scheduled one, because last time I did the scheduled one it didn't seem to work. But yeah, it should do, Joe. Joe's right. If you hit the bell, did anyone else get one because they've hit the bell? There we go, guys. What do you think? Bit different colour-wise. Let's flip back to the other camera. I'll post a picture of it as well, so you can have a good look and see all the different elements together, because I think when you're doing this it's difficult to see like all the splats behind there and all the different coloured cards, whereas when I do like the overhead shots, then sometimes it's easier to do that. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Do take advantage of the 10% off the embossing supplies if you need to top up on anything. There's tons over the coming weeks. The other types of supplies, not just my own designs, there'll be tons and tons more coming in that as well. So restock soon, new stuff in first week of September, fingers crossed. And then after that for October, I've got some really big news. I'll let you ponder on what that might be. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me again. I will see you this same time next week, 6 o'clock. Take care and have a wonderful week. Bye.